Secretary. Mr. McCaul, the Vice Chair on the Subcommittee on Western Hemisphere.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Madam Secretary, welcome. Two questions, one with respect to Iran, with respect to Mexico. You mentioned Israel prefers stability over a power vacuum, and I agree with that. I think what we're seeing in the Middle East right now is a power vacuum, and the question is who's going to fill that void. Is it going to be filled by a secular movement or by, say, forces like the Muslim Brotherhood? Or, as we look at Iran, is Iran going to take this opportunity to fill the vacuum? We know two Iranian vessels were in the Suez Canal, the first time since 1979. We support emerging democracies. I think that is the correct policy for this country. And we are supporting the forces in Egypt and Libya. But when it comes to Iran, who has, as you mentioned earlier, has oppressed its own people and fired tear gas and shot its own people, at least there's the appearance that the administration has been sort of silent on the issue. And yet I think there's a golden opportunity for us at this point in time to support the resistance movement in Iran. Why aren't we doing this more forcefully?
Well, Congressman, I would argue that we are doing it forcefully in many ways, and we will continue to do so. But I want to underscore the first point you made, which is that there is no doubt in my mind that if we are not present, and present in resources, not just in rhetoric, not just saying what we're for, but being able to deliver on that, others will fill that vacuum. The Middle East abhors a vacuum. I mean, we know that from long experience. And so while we message against Iran, if that's all we do, we're not going to be in the game. We got to be on the ground. That's why we need diplomacy and development to be viewed as national security, so that when these young people on the streets say, well, how do we write a constitution? It's the United States and our allies who are there to help, not the Iranians. But if anybody doubts that despite all of the sanctions and the best efforts of the international community to isolate, condemn what Iran has done, that they're not in there every single day with as many assets as they can muster, trying to take hold of this legitimate movement for democracy, you're sadly mistaken. We are in a competition. And I just stress that over and over again, that we got to be there. And we got to fight back.
With the limited time I have, I agree with you. I think that, you know, the diplomacy with Iran, in my view, is naive. I think that the best thing we can be doing, both from the State Department and from a intelligence effort, is to do everything within our power to support these freedom fighters who want to overthrow the Ayatollah and the mullahs, and who are oppressing these people.